Hi and welcome. My name is Tolan and I'm the co-founder of Productivity Me. In this video, we're going to look at the idea of autocomplete as well as creating your own custom list within Microsoft Excel. So if that's interesting to you, be sure to join us in this video. All right, so if you want to follow along, go ahead and download exercise file 03.06. In the last video, we looked at the idea of the fill handle, and that allowed us to do things like if we had a series of 1, 2, 3, we could activate the fill handle by putting our cursor in the bottom. Maybe I'll zoom in so you can see this a little bit better. All right, so we put our cursor in the bottom right portion of the screen, and then we could drag down, and that would essentially use autofill. We did this for patterns, for formulas, for months of the day, or months of the year, as well as days of the week. Now, what's kind of cool about the fill handle is there's a related component called autofill. Now, I'm going to delete all these by selecting and then hitting the delete key. Now, it can be kind of a pain to enter information, and using the fill handle is not always the most efficient. But there's this thing called autofill, and essentially that means that if there is a continuous series of text here on your left column, or the column to your left, then rather than take the fill handle and drag down like we did before, you can actually just push your cursor in the bottom right portion of your cell, and then double click, and it would autofill down, right? Because it's going to fill that same pattern, that same series, that same formula that you would have gotten from using the fill handle, but it will auto-populate it down. And why will it auto-populate it down? Let's just say 2 times 4. It will auto-populate it down because there are cells on the left. Now, if there were some gaps, right? So let's say that this group of cells was all empty. So now we just have cells that are filled from row 2 to row 7, and then there's a gap, and there's essentially more rows. So if here we were to type in January, then we double click here, and it will fill all the way to the point where there's no gaps. So because there's a gap here, it won't populate anymore. If we were to drag it down, it would continue, but because there was a little hole there, we can't use autofill. Now, what if it were the case that we were to go Monday, Tuesday, you can populate it down, bring it down one more, and then because the following cells are filled, then we can use auto populate. Now there's also something in Excel called like a custom list, right? Custom lists are kind of cool because just like you can use things January, February, March, April, May, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you can actually create your own list. So let's say that we had a list of different departments in a business, right? Maybe we had the marketing department, maybe we had the finance department, maybe we had operations, and maybe something like customer service or customer relations, whatever it was. Now we can actually create a custom list so that when we drag it down, it will continue just as the way it would continue Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then again, once we get to Sunday, repeat through Monday. We can create a custom list. So the way you would create a custom list is by going to your file menu, going to options. We're then going to go to what's called advanced options. And I want you to take your cursor and scroll down the bottom portion of the screen. And then once you get to the bottom, on what is about 1/3 of the way down, you'd click edit custom lists. And you'll notice that here we have a list. We have Sunday, Monday, we have the actual full days, we have the abbreviated 3-day months, and what we've created before. So I'm going to delete that, and we can do it again. So we say that we want to have a marketing list, and then after that we want finance. We're separating them by commas and spaces, operations, and then customer service. We hit add, and now once we hit OK, we type in marketing, and then we can drag it down and it would continue to repeat. Whereas before, if we were to go to Home, Options, Advanced Options, scroll all the way down, go to Edit Custom List. If we were to delete this, say let's delete this. Yes, we'd like to permanently delete it. We hit OK. And when we scroll out of this, now if we don't have a custom list with marketing in it, when we bring this down, it will just be marketing. So we could create another custom list. So let's say desserts. We're going to go to File, Options, Advanced, scroll down, Edit Custom List. Let's create a dessert list, right? So maybe the first is ice cream. And we'll do pie, then we'll do candy, which maybe is not a dessert. We'll do pastries. You could really add whatever you want. Maybe we'll do one more. We'll do chocolate mousse. I think it's M-O-U-S-E, but we hit add, we hit OK. And then now when we type in something like ice cream, we can drag down the list and we'll have these lists of different desserts. We could even go in and modify that by going to the File menu, going to Options, and going to Advanced, going to Edit Custom List. Let's just have 3 desserts rather than 5. So we'll delete that. We'll hit Add. Okay. So now when we type ice cream, because we've modified our list, you'll notice that we only have 3 desserts. We have ice cream, pie, and candy. Ice cream, pie, and candy. So in this video, we essentially wanted to look at autocomplete, and autocomplete is this cool little function that will just delete all this and do it again. Autocomplete will allow us to select the data, use the fill handle, and then rather than drag the fill handle down, we just double click and it would populate. If there was, say, a gap here, and we were to insert, say, a formula of 20 plus whatever this value is, then when we use the auto-populate tool, it will just go down to there. We can also create a custom list like we did with ice cream and the different desserts, which I think in the end we had 3 different types of desserts. So if you have any questions, any comments, ideas, go ahead and let us know. You can post comments, questions, ideas about this specific video, about something else kind of related in Excel that you're curious about this section of our course, about our course in general. We'd love to have your feedback. You can kind of give us a sense of how we're doing by giving us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And of course, you can go and check out additional videos on our channel or in our individual playlists. If you want to subscribe to our channel, that too is an option. Every week we'll create additional tips, tricks, and tutorials around Microsoft Excel, and we want to make them as useful to you. So again, your feedback, very much appreciated. All right, so in the next section, we'll go and start looking at formulas and functions and how you can use formulas and functions in Excel to do cool things. So we'll see you again soon, and as always, thanks for watching.